Earth. Yes, I was born on Earth. A long time ago now, 2150, if I recall correctly. I was a child of the dying years, the last generation to breathe its poisoned air and walk its cracked soil before we fled into the void. I remember Manila before the sea swallowed it. I remember the taste of rain before the acid turned it to poison. I remember the forests, the rivers, the life that still clung to the edges of a world that had no future. And I remember the fear that gripped my parents when the crops failed, the fear in the voices of world leaders, grasping at solutions long after they had lost control. We had reached too far, burned too fast, taken too much, and in the end, we reached the point of no return. There was hope once, or so the United Nations said. The Mars colonization program. It was meant to be humanity's second chance, a new Eden among the stars. I was just a boy when the first colonies were built there. Grand projects, vast domes stretching across the red sands. People said it would save us, that if Earth was dying, we could simply start over on Mars. But Mars was never meant for us. The air was thin, the soil barren. Every crop grown in its dust needed life support. Every drop of water had to be pulled from the frozen ground. Even with all our technology, all our effort, it was never enough. Mars could house a few thousand, but it could never sustain billions. By the time I turned 16, it was clear the dream was dead. The colonies had become tombs. The air recyclers were failing. The people who had fled there to build a new life found only slow starvation. And yet, the governments refused to admit the truth. Too much had been invested, too much promised. They would rather die believing in the lie than face the reality of their failure. The Confederation of Southeast Asian Nations. Our leaders made the hardest choice of all. While the rest of the world clung to Mars, clung to a doomed planet, our leaders saw the truth. They did the unthinkable. They withdrew from the program. The critics called it cowardice, abandonment. They said we had betrayed humanity. But I saw it for what it was. It was not surrender. It was the only way forward. If Mars could not sustain us, if Earth was beyond saving, then there was only one path left. We had to leave the solar system entirely. Using what little time and resources remained, the Confederation built 4 massive colony ships.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting.
Arcs, they called them.
All systems are go.
Self-contained cities meant to carry entire generations through the void. The Unisolar program. That was our answer. I was 23 when the launch came. I never thought Earth could look so small, or that leaving it behind would make me feel even smaller. The last of us, the last of Southeast Asia, leaving behind a world that had no future. 850,000 souls. We left behind friends, family, an entire history written in stone and soil. And we never looked back. It was hope that pushed us forward. We all knew the cost of our journey. 220 years into the void laid before us, and we were ready to pay it 1,000 times.